Okay, let's just wait for a few minutes and we'll start at 11:05. Okay, guys, we are going to start in 10 seconds. Hello, guys. Good morning. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Sunday with Such Brains. Today's guest is someone who brings valuable insights into one of the biggest questions around artificial intelligence today. How to do artificial intelligence and how to adopt it. So, joining us today is Sujit Kumar, who will be sharing his perspective on how students, SMEs, and startup can effectively leverage AI to learn faster, work smarter, improve productivity, and reduce the cost and create new opportunities. While AI is everywhere in conversations today, the real challenge is understanding how to use it in practical and measure its impact. In today's conversation, we will talk about ROI of AI, how students, SMEs, and startup can leverage AI. We'll explore how students can use AI to improve their skills and career opportunities, how small and minimum sized businesses can adopt AI without huge budget, how startups can use to move faster, and what organizations should consider before investing in AI tools. We'll also discuss about future of AI, common mistakes people make while adopting it, and where the biggest opportunities may lie in the upcoming years. Sujit, it's pleasure to have you with us today. So without any further delay, let's just dive right in.
Yeah, hey Sasank, thank you for the intro and hello everyone. So it's good to be here. Uh, it's a real pleasure that Sketchbrains and Task has been doing this for a while, and it's great that actionable knowledge is being brought to the general public, the students of Telangana, and everyone else who is watching this. So, it's a great thing to be a part of and to share my perspective on whatever I have uh, from my experience. So yeah, it's great to be here, and I'll move on to I have a deck which I'll move on to, and we'll start it from there. If there are any questions anyone has, so feel free to ask, and I'll try to answer. We'll have a short Q&A session right after the PPT. But if there is any question, any pressing question that needs to be answered right away, feel free to uh, ask in the live itself. So here we go with the ROI of AI, and let me say this. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, perfect. So today we are going to talk about the ROI of AI, and as Sasank has already mentioned, we are going to talk about how students, startups, and SMEs can leverage AI. So we are at Sunday with Sketchblends, and why we are doing this? AI literacy is no longer the baseline. AI has been here. I mean, if AI has been here since almost 1950s. The state of AI currently, as we know, uh, it's basically somewhere from 2021, where ChatGPT came in as an in the form of an application, a chatbot app. But generative AI is fairly new. AI itself is not. Companies have been using AI in several applications, like from driverless cars to, a whole lot of, spam filters and everything. So AI is not new. And right now, basic AI literacy is no longer baseline. Everyone is using AI. Almost everyone is using AI. So we'll go ahead, we'll start. So there is, I have to add this disclaimer because we are going to use a few names, few brands, and everything just to let everyone know this is basically being done for educational purposes, and if, each party is on their respective trademarks and everything. So I'll just skip through this slide. Okay, so we'll come to about me. I'm Sujit Kumar. You have heard about me from Sasank already. I work as an engineering operations lead at Momence, and my work is in the my work is adjacent to AI applied. Applied AI automations and operations. So engineering operations. Basically, I build a lot of workflows, automations, and everything that makes lives easier. I mean, uh, at a professional level and at a personal level as well, because I mean, it does not make sense to spend a lot of time doing things that can be automated. Uh, I mean, that does come with a risk. Uh, we'll talk about it in the later slides. So there are three pillars that I believe in. That I have been working on. So coming to what I have been building, I have been building production ready AI systems. I have been working across engineering ops and applied AI, and it's been almost a bit more than 2 years that I have been building practical generative AI apps. So uh, and coming to sharing, I'm a strict believer in sharing knowledge. Uh, I don't believe in gatekeeping knowledge. So I've been a speaker, I've been a mentor, and I've been an active community member. If you are in and around Hyderabad, you have probably seen me at many community events. And coming to my beliefs, I believe the real value of AI is not in using more AI. And what's more important than knowing where to use AI is knowing where not to use it. AI is costly. I mean, you have probably heard about it multiple times. Tokens cost money, tools cost money, and there is a whole lot of costs apart from the monetary value that comes into play when we use AI. So a few stats, I won't bore you with a lot of this, but we are using McKinsey State of AI 2025 report and Stanford AI Index 2026 to get these stats. And so 88% organizations are already using AI in at least one business function. Anything, it could be anything. It could be an internal tool. It can be a tool that's customer facing. It can be anything. It can be an employee, I mean, productivity monitoring tool. It could be anything. 4 in 5 university students now use generative AI. So there are a lot of programs and everything for university students basically. So as soon as you have an edu email, you probably get a lot of benefits, and that's basically one of the stepping stones into using AI really seriously, because you get unrestricted access to a lot of tools which would otherwise have costed a lot. So but again, the question, are we getting value out of AI? Because that's what we should be asking to each one of us at the end of the day. Uh, Already, I mean, since 88% organizations are already using AI, 4 in 5 university students are using AI. When you see these figures, you probably believe that, yeah, almost everyone is using AI. So, I mean, everyone has access to some or the other AI tool. But the thing is, why are some people better at AI and some people are still struggling to find out value from AI, to extract more value from AI? I mean, that's the question we are going to focus on, and that's the question we're going to answer today. So yeah, I mean, this is self-explanatory. Using AI does not necessarily mean benefiting from AI. I mean, yeah, if we are using AI to uh, let's say you are using Nano Banana to make memes or Nano Banana to make banners and everything, it's really great. But I mean, if it's just sitting in your computer and nobody else is seeing it, I mean, that is probably not benefiting you. So the concept of extracting value out of not just AI, rather anything, is probably you build something, you showcase it, you put into action. So basically, you act. It's not like, I mean, if you are building something using something, it's not going to help you autonomously. So the problem, there is a gap. Only 39% enterprises get some kind of revenue impact from using AI. So there are 61% enterprises that still do not get any kind of revenue from using AI. And it's sourced from the same McKinsey State of AI report. And it could be, I mean, it's a 2025 report, so the figures might have changed, but I mean, it's not been a lot of time. So now comes the real challenge. access to AI tools. Maybe it could be Canva, it could be Gamma, it could be Gemini, it could be ChatGPT. I mean, whatever AI tool you use, whatever AI tool of your choice is, you almost everyone has access to these tools. And like I mentioned earlier, basic AI literacy is no longer the baseline. So that's kind of a very standard thing. Knowing what AI is, knowing how AI works, knowing how to prompt things. It's probably something almost everyone knows. I mean, almost everyone can type a few lines into a chat. A chat app and can extract a response. I mean, whether it's in the form of a video, audio, or image or a text response. So okay, so our today's session is titled ROI. So what is ROI? ROI is return on investment. Uh, Almost everyone probably knows this, but I'm just going to reiterate it. But again, ROI is more than money. I mean, what we usually think is, okay, I spent, let's say, I mean, we have different plans. Let's say I spent 100 rupees on a subscription, on an AI subscription, and I did a couple days homework. So I think my stuff is done. I don't. I have extracted all the value possibly I could have done extracted from AI, and I'm happy. AI is happy. I'm happy. The company is happy because you didn't consume a lot of tokens and everything. So yeah, everyone goes home happy. But what did you get at the end of the day? So I mean, when it comes to ROI, we talk about, I mean, time. Are we able to do something significantly faster? I mean, I could have sat down and probably done my homework in 15 minutes. And if I spend, let's say, if I'm sitting at my computer, and when I say homework, it could be like a script. Probably you are learning Java, you are learning Python, you are learning something. You see, you have a script to write. You probably could have or done it yourself in 15 minutes. Now you give that task to any app of your choice, let's say Antigravity or Codex or anything, and it generated in like say 5-10 minutes. You had to read it through, you had to debug it, and you spent 20 minutes there. That's negative ROI, and you are probably not getting anything out of it. I mean, you spent more time you would have normally spent. You did not get enough practice with whatever your craft is, your trade is. So that's something which needs to be considered at all times. Are we getting ROI in any sense? So coming to capability, I mean, we are going with a homework analogy. So I mean, handwriting code, it's kind of an art these days because not almost nobody writes code using their hands. You don't hand code anymore. You probably it's vibe coding to agentic engineering. Then there is loop engineering and everything that's happening these days. So yeah, you have to understand that is my capability being increased. If I was able to debug a script earlier, by just going through it, is AI taking that capability away from me? Am I becoming too dependent on AI? That's something you should be thinking while you are uh, using. I mean, you use everything moderately. Don't overuse anything. And coming to quality, we'll again go with the same homework analogy. So basically, let's say you are building something. You used to hand code. You probably understood whatever coding standards. Let's say you wanted to keep the function smaller, you wanted to make the functions reusable and all this stuff. But when AI does it for you, it does it differently. AI has, and most AI apps, they have models and apps, they have a limited context window. So you are working with one of the apps. Let's say your context window is existed, and in the first context window your variable was uh, written on a snake case, and coming to the second one, when you are going to the next context window, it's a sliding window kind of thing. But again, whenever you are going to the next one, it's camel kissing. So basically your code quality is deteriorating and someone comments that okay, this is not acceptable. And coming to opportunity, so I mean AI, okay, let's address the elephant in the room. AI is not going to take your jobs. Everyone says AI is going to take your jobs. AI is not going to. AI autonomously won't be able to. The more I work with AI, the more I realize AI is not capable of taking the jobs of people who are domain experts. So yeah, if all the work that someone has been doing is transcribing something from an image to image to a spreadsheet or something, then yes, that job is no longer going to stay in the near future. Those jobs are being removed, but with AI comes a lot of opportunities. So I think we'll have a lot of jobs basically. When I started with my AI lessons, I one of the major learning materials that I refer to was AI for Everyone by Andrew Ng. It's available on Coursera Deep Learning, so you could, I mean, it's kind of free. You could actually audit its contents, but there is a stat. I can't exactly remember it, but I think 43 million or 93 million jobs are going to be created just because of AI. So AI is not going to uh, take jobs away, but you have to be careful about what you are working on. And coming to money, so I mean, when we are talking about AI, probably there will be times when if you are working on production grade AI, if you are working on, personal projects, even you will probably realize that saving 100 rupees is better than earning 500 rupees using AI, especially if earning that 500 rupees using AI is going to cost you 1,000 rupees in tokens. So that's something needs to be considered. And ROI, of course, is dependent on who is using AI. Are you trying to use it in an enterprise setting? Are you trying to use an AI API? Are you trying to use just a chat app and trying to get value? So these are the considerations that you should be having. Okay, so we already discussed this, but the real ROI equation, I'll come to this. It's basically the value you have created, the time you have saved, the capability you have gained. Let's say you are using ChatGPT to work on a Python script that has been that you have been trying to master over something, any concept. So you are trying to, let's say you are trying to master loops, and you are gaining capability. So the quality improvement, are you actually, is the quality of what you are producing, the output, has it improved? And did you create any revenue, or did you create any opportunity for yourself? And minus the total cost. I mean, you probably spent money on a ChatGPT subscription, let's say 500,000, 2,000, whatever, based on whatever subscription you have, or 20,000 if you are using the enterprise thing. So the tokens are compute. I mean, if you are using a subscription, you are probably good to go. But if you're using it in a production ready environment, in an enterprise environment, through AI APIs, you have to be mindful of tokens. And the time a human spent on reviewing all these things, the time and effort you spent in implementing this, and the risk of errors. AI hallucinates, AI sugarcoats things, AI has a tendency to be psychophantic. So basically, AI contributes to your confirmation biases and everything. So you have to negate all these costs from whatever value you have created and determine whether you got real AI ROI. So basically, let's say you decide that you are worth let's say you are starting to work today. You decide that okay, I'll charge people 1,000 rupees an hour, and so your cost is 1,000 rupees an hour. And if you are actually saving an hour, You are saving 1,000 rupees. You are getting that money, and you have to subtract it from your tools and subscription cost. Basically, divide it up by how many hours are there and everything, and still say, am I profitable at the end of the day? If you're profitable, that's great. So yeah, AI has hidden costs. I mean, there are direct costs, subscription APIs, subscriptions. If you are using any ChatGPT or Gemini and any other interface, you are probably on a subscription. If you are using it on an enterprise level, you are probably using it through APIs where compute charges and I mean the API costs they come in, which is basically I mean the personal AI subscription that we use, these are mostly subsidized, and I hope they last for quite a long time. But again, enterprises to pay a lot more input tokens, output tokens, and there are a lot of hidden costs when it comes to implementing AI in an enterprise. And then comes human cost. I mean, the time spent prompting. Have you spent a lot of time? I mean, there are so many prompting techniques: chain of thought, tree of thought, and role prompting, everything. So, how much time did you spend prompting? Or did you spend hour prompting? Could you have created the solution itself within that hour? Because if you spent an hour to create a prompt, a simple prompt, and then you gave it to the AI model, and the model generated a response. You reviewed it, you followed up with the model, you validated the output that resulted in a human cost, and probably that costed you 1,000 rupees an hour. So I think that's one cost that you have to account for. Then comes other costs. Basically, let's say, I mean, there has been several big companies which have paid millions of dollars in fines recently. I won't be taking names or anything. You can search on the news and find out that some people, some companies generated AI generated reports for audits, and they were fined 200 million to 50 million dollars in fines. Those are huge fines. So basically, someone decided that okay, I'll trust AI blindly, and I'll let AI be the driver. I mean, be the co-pilot. Let AI be the co-pilot. You are the one who manages it. Trust but verify. That's I mean, you should not be trusting AI so much that it could result in a catastrophic consequence. And coming to opportunity cost. So automating the wrong problem. I have always mentioned from the beginning, very beginning, that the value of AI lies in not just knowing that where to use AI, rather where not to use AI. So where you should abstain, where you should not be using AI, where you should be using AI. That's something as an expert you should be knowing. And there are problems, there are deterministic problems which can be solved by probably a rule-based script which does not really need AI. So if you are using AI to do that, you are making LLM calls, you are making so many API calls, and you are creating a system around it. You are probably spending much time, resources, and everything on its maintenance. So yeah, I mean, free AI is not free if you are spending hours fixing it. So basically, if you are using a very if you are using a lower model just to save costs, and you have to spend 5 hours of time sitting with the model, reiterating all the things you have said, solving every problem, you are probably wasting a lot of time if you could have actually achieved that in 15 minutes with a top tier model. Okay, so here is where students go wrong while using AI. So yeah, almost every student have probably used AI to write their assignment or solve their questions. But I think that's a low ROI AI use. Yeah, there is return on investment. You probably finished your assignment, or you probably got the answer to a question. You got your entire project or anything. But yeah, it did not probably yields as much ROI as you could have generated if you would have used it differently. If you are using it in a different way, that's great. I mean, So how you could do this is, I mean, how I personally do this is when I don't know something, I use AI as a mentor. So you could use a custom GPT on ChatGPT or a Gemini Gem. And how I do this is, let's say I like a teacher, I mean, a mentor on the web. I like a teacher who has been teaching, let's say, Python nicely. So I extract a couple of videos from them. I like their tone and everything. I asked ChatGPT to create a persona of those people, and I create a custom GPT where I mentioned that act as a mentor and using their tone, using their, I mean, whatever you know based on their teaching style, teach me this. So it teaches me, it asks me follow-up questions, and I mean, it's better to learn that way. It's an interactive way of learning. Then comes, I mean, you could ask challenge my understanding. Maybe, let's say you are learning for loops today, so you have understood how for loops work, but I mean, you have not quite got everything. You could write AI that, okay, see, I have understood this much, and this is my understanding. Challenge my understanding and teach me what I have not learned. So, I mean, AI is going to be great at doing that, and you will probably learn a lot along the way. Coming to, generate an entire project, I mean, AI is great at greenfield projects where basically there is nothing, you give everything. But again, there is a limit, there is a context window. Some have a 256,000 context window, some have a 1 million context window, but there are all these limits with context windows. And again, AI loses track, your model loses track of it right after your window is exhausted. So you can, I mean, you can ask a model that review what I built. I mean, if you're building something using Gemini, go ahead and ask ChatGPT to critique it. I mean, it's a good strategy that I have seen that works. I mean, not all models are trained equal. Some models are good for something, some models are not so great for something else. So I mean, I'll give a small example. I was doing something on Google AI Studio, and it said that it confidently said that, okay, I did all of this, and I actually wanted to check how conflicting AI models are going to act there. So I took that code, I pasted it in ChatGPT and told that, see, improve this code. There are about 10 improvements. So I'm not saying uh, AI Studio did a bad job, but basically when you challenge assumptions, it results in higher value. And yeah, help me go beyond my current capability. Let's say you are learning loops today, you want to learn, I mean, data structures and everything. So you can probably ask AI to teach you in an interactive manner. You could go to a tool such as Notebook LM. You could collect a lot of videos and audio content, or I mean, whatever content, put it in Notebook LM. You can ask Notebook LM to create a podcast style thing or a flashcard style of thing, and you can start learning from there. There are several tools, I mean, you can use to do this. So I mean, if you're using AI just for solving assignments or questions, that is probably where you are using it wrong, and you should be moving to more efficient and more capable AI use. So yeah, remove friction. Don't remove thinking. A lot of times, I mean, people delegate their work to AI. They just think that, okay, AI is just like a junior developer, and I'll just get the code done by AI. So that's where a poor ROI comes in. I mean, yeah, there are a few good uses, there are a few bad uses that I mean, we are talking about here. If you get AI to debug an error and tell you why it happened, and what it happened, that's probably increasing your capability. And I mean, that's helping you and increasing your capability. But if you ask AI to, resolve this error for me, it probably will do that. But again, you will have no idea of what AI did and why it did. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to, as students, if you're going to use AI as a tutor, I think here is an example of how you can to it. I mean, you can give it a context. I mean, let's say you are working on loops. You give, I mean, okay, say I'm working on loops. This is what I have learned. This is what I'm learning. This is what I have not learned yet. You can ask AI to explain it. Uh, Once you have understood it, you can ask it to question you, and with the wrong answers you give, or the answer or the things that you have not fundamentally understood, you ask AI to find the gaps and then retest and re-explain it to you. So as students, this is quite going to be quite helpful. As a critic, I mean, yeah, there are this is just having a good resume is not enough. So I mean, you can mostly I have personally seen people sending out AI generated resumes, although yeah, they could be ATS compliant. But again, I mean, if you ask AI to create a resume, probably that's going to do a decent job, and it's going to generate it for you. But again, you could challenge the assumptions, like I had mentioned earlier. Get AI to you get a model to generate your resume. You ask another model to generate review a resume and challenge your skills. I mean, act as a recruiter. Or you can use something like Gemini Live or a ChatGPT. ChatGPT has a audio feature as well. You can have mock interviews with yourself. I mean, with Gemini or ChatGPT, and you can try to uh, get it to ask you questions, answer it. I mean, so that way you can, at the end of the day, you can ask it questions where you did good, where you did bad, and improvise. So, okay, yes, use AI to build real things. I mean, there could be spreadsheets that need automation. I mean, you are using formulas, you are probably searching through Google, you are using formulas, you are analyzing data sets. I mean, maybe some kind of public data you have, or if, I mean, if you are a CSE student, you are probably checking out, I mean, you are probably trying to analyze some kind of data for a college project or anything. So AI can help you there. Processing PDFs and documents. Let's say you have 200 PDFs where you want to extract some kind of data. So I think AI can make this much faster. And I mean, it can help you automate repetitive work. But the differentiator here is you need to find out and understand that whether this is a rule based thing that can be done using a plain script, or if it needs AI. I mean, if it's something that needs intelligence, if it's something that should be done with AI, use AI. If it's something that should not be done with AI, don't use it. I mean, basically, if my job is to find out, I mean, check 20 lines of text and find out all the numbers from it, you can probably do it with an Excel formula, and you don't need it to need AI to do this. So AI has an environmental impact as well. So I mean, that also comes in the ROI of AI. So be mindful of that. So as a student, let's see what you can automate. I mean, think of the things that you did more than 3 times this week. Let's say you are copying information between tools, Google Sheets, Google Docs, anything. Uh, are you cleaning data? Let's say you are cleaning duplicates, you are fixing formatting or anything. Are you sending out similar messages or anything? Follow-ups. I mean, don't spam people, but yeah, if you're doing follow-ups, and if you're sending out a lot of applications and anything, if you're doing formatting a lot of documents, or if you're searching multiple websites, you can probably make an AI solution that helps you. I mean, probably like a custom GPT, like a Gemini Gem. There are pre-existing GPTs and gems that can also help you do all this. So I mean, you have to start somewhere. If you're not using AI, you I mean, find out the things where you are repeating, you are doing a lot of repetitions manually, and from there you will understand what all things you need to automate. And then from there, check out whether this automation needs an AI solution or a rule-based solution. If it needs a rule-based solution, uh, go ahead with, I mean, go talk to your AI tool, find out a solution, and if not, work on an AI solution with AI as the brain and solve it. Your first workflow could be something, I mean, you are applying for a lot of internships. So basically, you receive a lot of emails. You can use I mean, plain automation inside Gmail even to extract and label. Gmail has a workspace studio. I mean, I don't know if everyone has seen that, but if you are looking at the top of Gmail, to the right side, there is a workflow button. You can go into the workflows and you can create a small automation with AI as the brain that will actually do a lot of stuff for you. For example, I'll give you an example. I mean, whenever there is some new things happening in the AI world, I basically want to know it. So I have an automation personally where, I mean, if anything new that's happening every day, I have an automation that sends me an email and all the links of the things that have happened, and I check it at the beginning of the day, so I don't spend a lot of time browsing the web to find it out. So yes, AI changes the minimum expected output. I mean, skills plus AI is the new standard. It's not like I mentioned earlier, a just AI literacy is no longer the baseline. So everyone uses AI. Uh, Developers are going to use AI. Data analysts using AI. Designer using AI. If you are a designer who is not using AI, if you are an analyst who is not using AI, AI can increase your productivity multiples. So I mean, the combination right now, as students, you should be mindful of the fact that employees are looking for job ready skills, and a AI proficiency is one of the most important job ready skills. Knowing how to use ChatGPT or Gemini, writing a few prompts is no longer a durable differentiator. I mean, there used to be prompt engineering jobs, which paid 1 crore or 2 crores like a few years ago, but I mean, those are dwindling. So it's not going to be helpful anymore. So AI can, I mean, then comes the realization AI can extend your capability, of course. Understanding where to use AI, where not to, understanding how AI generates what it generates is how you can judge the output and get more of the AI. So yeah, as students, I mean, quite a few of you probably know this, but there are going to be a few things that you can start using to learn things from. There is Google. Google has Google Skills. Microsoft has something called Microsoft Learn, and AWS has something called AWS Skill Builder. I mean, these give enterprise-ready hands-on skills and labs that you can complete. And these are mostly free. There are things. The certifications are premium content. I mean, those could come with a cost, but again, certifications are not something you should be looking at. You should be looking at collecting skills. It's about, you build something on Google Skills or Microsoft Learn or AWS Skill Builder. There are like hands-on labs that you can actually check out. You can learn things from, and you can add it to a resume that, okay, I have learned this, I know this. So yeah, I mean, what is one repetitive task you perform this week? That's probably going to be one of the biggest realizations that you should be taking away from this. If you repeated a task quite a lot of times, so you think why you are not automating it. I mean, does it require human judgment? If yes, then don't automate it. If something requires human judgment, it should be done by human. Can it be assisted by AI? Probably. I mean, is it something that I mean, that AI can assist you and you can take the decision? Think of it, maybe use a tool, maybe use a custom gem or something. And is it repetitive? Can it be automated? Use a tool like an Attain Make or something, or the Google Workspace Studio to automate it. Okay, so coming to how startups and SMEs do this, I mean, yeah, everyone does the same mistake. I mean, you probably have heard that companies had a token leaderboards. I mean, how many tokens did a certain person consume? I think that's the wrong way to measure impact. So it's not about where can we use it. I mean, it should be more about where are we losing time where are we losing our capability and opportunities? Basically, don't think that I want to AI was everything. I'm not going to put AI everything just because AI exists. Think in a way that, okay, since AI exists, is there any workflow that I can automate better using AI? So if there is something, and again, I calculate the cost, I calculate the estimates, and then I decide that, okay, let's do this. I mean, I have heard people saying Claude is best, Gemini is best, ChatGPT is best. I think that's a wrong approach to look at things, because there is no single model which is the best at everything. So I mean, and again, models come with a cost. It's not cheap. It's not. I mean, not everything is the best for everything. So analyze that, find out where you come in, and use it accordingly. So yeah, find which one is the right workflow to automate. So basically, I mean, not every workflow is ready for AI. There could be certain things which are client secrets or anything. It's not, basically, you should not be giving it to AI. If there is something called something like internal knowledge search, basically, your developer team spends a lot of time answering product questions. You can probably build a React bot where your internal question is answered. You could create a data cleanup tool, but again, when you are creating a data cleanup tool, you should be proceeding with custom and all of that. So I mean, you have to determine which ones are the most risky workflows, which ones are the easiest workflows. I mean, if there is a workflow that's going to be easy, you should be implementing it. If there is a workflow that you need to proceed with custom, I mean, keep human in the loop, and then use it. There are a few use cases here. I mean, but again, one of the major things with AI is trust but verify. So you should be doing that at all times. If you're trusting AI, verify before you trust it. So yeah, I mean, the AI maturity ladder. This is a framework that I believe in. So I mean, at level one, if you're at level one, you ask questions to AI and you decide everything else. You probably ask what I should be doing, and AI gives you an idea. You decide what to do next. Coming to the next level, if you become the, I mean, you drive everything, AI becomes the co-pilot. So AI just accelerates the work. Let's say you are coding, and you give the architecture and everything, AI codes it for you. Automate. So coming to loop, I'll give loop engineering as an example. You probably have heard of this term very recently. So I mean, you create a set of skills, you create a set of instructions that, okay, I want you to create an agent swarm, and I want you to build something. So AI handles all these repeatable, well-defined, steps, and AI tests if everything is going well. And at the end, it just tells you that, okay, I've done this. And the next one is you can create multi-agent systems, or several, you can sew together several systems to create an orchestrated system. Maybe you connect several different APIs, you can create a RAG system, you create a data flow system or something. And coming to agents, I mean, this is where things go wrong. Basically, a lot of people start with building agents. I mean, there is ADK, there is LangChain, there is LangGraph. I understand, and everyone is focused on, I want to learn this, I want to do this and so on. But don't start at building an agent. Understand the fundamentals. I mean, if you are starting to learn AI today, or if you are just, I mean, if you are an intermediate, I'd probably say go ahead and read the papers called Attention is All You Need, if you have not read it. Because when you understand how AI works, it gives you more idea about what to do with AI and what not to. So I'll just give another one. Don't prompt away everything. So you can create skills. Skills are a part of the agent harnesses, where you are using an agentic coding tool. You probably have heard of Gemini.md or Skills.md. I mean, you don't want you want, let's say, for each function to have less than 30 lines of code, or you want a certain style to be maintained in your code, you don't write it in every prompt because that clutters everything. You can probably create a skill.md, and give it to the model. You can put it in the root directory, and the model actually starts using that skill at all times. You don't have to reprompt that, okay, keep less than 20 lines of code, don't add insecure functions, and all this stuff. So, I mean, don't keep teaching AI the same thing. I mean, if you're doing this, it probably belongs in a skill. So there are, I mean, Cloud, Codex, Antigravity, all of these have this feature. Use it if you are not using it already. So I mean, before AI, you used to, I mean, question search for something. Stack Overflow is a good example. You read, you decided, and you wrote something. Today, I mean, a lot of people are doing it badly. I mean, you question AI, you search, you copy to AI, you correct AI, and you write. But I mean, I think the better use case here is, I mean, you question AI, you ask AI for evidence, you ask AI to create a draft, you validate it, and then you, I mean, if you are not being satisfied with the output of a single model, you move it to another model, and I mean, iterate it until you are satisfied. Working with AI is an iterative process. Again, I mean, calculate ROI before you automate things. So, I mean, if you used to spend an hour doing things before AI, and if you are spending 2 hours to do with AI, it does not make any sense. Do not use AI there. If, I mean, if you are using something, if you used to do something in an hour and you were able to do it with 10 minutes, so uh, definitely use AI there. So save hours, save time. Time is money. So yeah, measure things before you use AI, and measure things after you started using AI. So, okay, when not to use AI, I mean, this is basically one of the very important things. If the consequences are high, I mean, you have a agreement with a client that, okay, there is private information, or there is information that you cannot independently verify it. I mean, if there are rule-based software, rule-based automations that can work, then it's of no use putting in AI there. So human accountability, of course. I mean, if you need to review something, it's a client report, it's a report that, I mean, it's a medical report that needs to be reviewed. I mean, you should be the one responsible for it, and do not outsource it to AI. Automation, I mean, when automation costs more than it saves money, you should not be using that automation, or that I mean, that a application. And if you are using sensitive or confidential data, because there are so many data protection laws, there is DPDP Act in India, and there is GDPR in the EU, and there are so many data protection laws in place across the globe. So be mindful of that. So I'll just give you a challenge for the next 7 days. If you are starting out today, so yeah, find one friction point in your daily work or study schedule. Measure the time that you are spending on doing it manually. Measure the cost, I mean, time cost, effort cost, capability cost, and use AI to get assistance. Then build a simple workflow. Use Workflow Studio, use Anytime, use Make anything. Try to learn the missing capability that you needed. So, like we had the example of loops and everything, loops, data structures for an, I mean, if you are a student. So uh, Next, you can create an agent skill. If, I mean, if you're doing it the same thing, doing the same thing over and over, create the agent skill. And on day 7, measure how much time you are spending doing the same thing that you used to do on day 1 without using AI. Document everything and try it out. So yeah, I mean, the takeaway for today is start with the problem. Remove friction, don't remove the thinking. Don't outsource everything to AI just because AI exists, and measure what changed. So if there is no measurable improvement, redo the workflow, or revisit the problem, or decide whether using AI is going to be helpful. If there is measurable improvement, that's your AI ROI. So that's all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask and I'll try to answer. And you can scan. This is my, this QR code leads to my LinkedIn, and this is my email. So if we'll go ahead with the Q&A if there is any. So please ask and I'll answer.
That's wonderful. I myself enjoyed this session. Yeah, so we have a few questions.
Okay.
So the first
Thanks,
question
Sasanka.
is,
Yeah.
you mentioned that very few companies see the business impact or ROI of AI. So how can mid to small enterprises utilize the AI to translate into business impact?
Okay, so Sankshi, what happens with AI is, you probably have heard of many companies saying that you need to use an AI ID, maybe you need to use Cursor, maybe you need to use Codex or the Claude to start writing code. I mean, you are giving a 2000, let's say you are giving $2,000 worth of credits to a junior developer who is not using it every day. Your credits are not being used, so that that results in opportunity cost. Basically, you are not using the credits, you are not getting enough value from AI, and that does not result in the upskilling of the individual. So basically, that does not lead to increase in knowledge of the enterprise, that does not lead to time saved, that does not help with time cost. So basically, saying that I have a fixed rule that you need to use AI in everything, start using AI in everything is a very vague and is a bad mindset when it comes to AI applications. So how I would look at is, if I am saying that there is something which I'm doing particularly every day, can it be automated? Can it be automated by a rule-based implementation, or can it be automated by an AI implementation? Let's say I'm going to give you an example of a RAG bot. So basically, like an internal knowledge retrieval bot. So basically, my people spend a lot of time asking questions, internal questions, and there are people who spend time understanding that questions and answering questions. So I have my product knowledge siloed in several places. If I'm using AI to take that data and answer those questions, that's a good use of AI. I am not going to spend time in, doing things by hand which can be automated. That is saving me time. I'm on a customer call and someone asks a question, and I'm able to ask it to an internal AI application and it answers it right away. I don't have to wait for a human, and that results me in a sale. That is probably something where AI is giving me value right away. So, I should be looking at, okay, uh, basically, am I getting how the AI use is translating into value for me? So, don't look at, you need to use AI definitely, because it's an organizational rule that everyone needs to use AI. Don't make it an organizational rule. Rather, see where AI comes in as a great enabler and start using AI there.
Wonderful. The second question we have is, with the creation of new age roles like FDE and AI engineers, how can students find an optimal path? Is it like still heavily programming dependent, or is it like approach shifting?
Okay, so I'll give an example. Uh, FD is, the role of an FD is someone who can understand a business problem end to end. So, a full cycle developer who can understand a problem end to end. So, who understands business, the impact of that business, and who can use that problem to create a solution. Okay, so basically, an FD is a business person who can create a software solution as well. If you look at it that way. So if you are an FDE, if you're looking at an FDE, you still need to have domain knowledge. You still need to be able to code, and yeah, you will probably not hand code daily, but you will use an AI tool to agentic AI solution to generate your code and everything. But you need to be able to understand what that I mean, what your tool created for you. I mean, if you are blindly trusting the code, that's going to be inefficient. I mean, it's not going to be scalable as well. AI will generate code for you. It will probably work. It will probably work in, I mean, in your demos. But again, when it scales to productions, it's highly likely to fail. uh, I mean, it might not fail. It's not like whatever AI generates is going to fail. But again, you have to understand what kind of thing you are creating, so you are able to optimize it at a later stage. I mean, if you are creating some kind of AI project, don't give it to blindly that, I want a software solution to be made. You define the database schema, you define what I mean, all the things that you need done. You create the I mean, PRD, you create the technical documentation, and then give it to AI to generate things based on it. You ask AI to generate tests and everything. And I mean, then you, after the end of every coding session, ask AI to tell you explicitly what it did. So you understand that, okay, I mean, AI did this. I understand, I know what my code did, and I understand what it implies. So I mean, that way you will be more aware of what you are creating, and it's easier to diagnose and if any problem comes in.
Got it. And the question, everyone today is mentioning about automation and reducing repetitive tasks, right? So what are the constraints that the human in the loop can keep so that the code does not smell or resemble AI slope?
Okay, so see, the problem is not code looking like ASLab. Basically, while in the deck, I actually mentioned something. Your context window is limited. So, in one of the, let's say you are using a couple of models, you are switching models around. One of your, in one of your variable names is declared in snake case. One of your variable names is declared in camel case. So, basically, it's just a very, very small, very big example, but that actually looks like AI stuff. I mean, that's not maintainable. Your function is having like 200 lines. That's not maintainable code. So, I mean, enterprises focus on code that's maintainable, that's reusable. I mean, if I'm creating something just for the sake of one single automation, and if I won't be able to reuse it, that's kind of not going to age well in when if I'm looking at ROI as well. So if I'm spending time today on doing something, I should be able to use that in something else tomorrow. So I mean, code looking like AI slop is not going to be a problem in the next few years, maybe next few months. Models are, I mean, every day a new model, something else is coming. So it should be more about whether my code is functional, whether my code does what it should be. I mean, if your model is, adding a comment next to every line of code it's creating, that okay, variable name is this, and declaring variable name, it puts a comment that declaring variable name, then that's definitely AI slop. So basically, code looking like AI slop is not the problem. Code being functional is the problem. So, I mean, but again, that comes in when you understand what you are creating with AI. So you need to be a bit mindful, and AI is not a substitute for learning. So, I mean, you need to learn, you need to have the fundamentals yourself, and ask AI to be the enabler.
Awesome. And the question, the pace at which the technology is evolving, the expectations of an entry level role are changing, right? So what the organization expect you to, like the entry level folks to have that skill?
So I think, see, I mean, if you're going from on campus or off campus interviews or anything, I mean, it's basically you are going in as a junior developer or a trainee developer. So basically, there are stacks, there are languages those companies will be working on. But again, I mean, you are getting your own set of knowledge and skills at your, I mean, educational institution. then there will be, you will be doing your projects and everything, and then you'll be moving over to an enterprise. So there are job ready skills, like I mentioned. There is Microsoft Learn, Google Skills, and all these. I mean, these are great ecosystem enablers, as in you learn cloud. I mean, you learn how to deploy things in Azure, you learn how to deploy things on AWS, or how AWS works, or how to deploy something on GCP, on Cloud Run, or Firebase. So basically, having a bit of these skills is quite essential these days. I mean, since we were talking about FD role a few minutes ago, uh, FD should have, I mean, domain knowledge. You should have an understanding of, how businesses work. How So if you're a programmer, it does not necessarily mean you don't need to understand the business side of things. I mean, understanding the business side of things gives you an edge in, helping your organization get better return on whatever you are working on. So, mm, and I mean, while you are in college, while you are still learning things, invest in job ready skills. There are several platforms, but again, I mean, Microsoft Learn, Google Skills, and AWS Skills Build that I mentioned. These are pretty good. These are pretty good platforms. You can just register and start. So these days, you would probably, if you go on LinkedIn, there are platform engineers, SREs who are multi-cloud. So I mean, I know GCP, I know AWS, I know. I mean, I know Azure. I know a lot of other. I mean, cloud deployments. I know Kubernetes. I know Docker. I mean, these are the things that you need to understand. So it's not like you need to learn all of this from day one, and probably not everyone will need to learn this, but have an interest, have an inquisitive mind, that okay, what uh, where my interest lies in, and try to have job ready skills in that domain before you join an enterprise, and that will probably help in your internal growth, and getting a good job, getting your internal growth, and that will help in staying unfireable these days. Because I mean, like I said, AI is not going to take your job. A human who is using AI better will probably do. So have the skills and knowledge, and you are not going to be dispensable.
Oh, great. And we have the last question here. Okay. If you could give one piece of advice to the like career advice to someone who is just starting out, what would it be?
Don't. So my advice would be, don't focus on the how, focus on the why. I mean, why is something working like it is? If you are new at your job, then try to find out the. I mean, think from an FD's perspective. Think from a business person's perspective. I mean, if you are if you have a say in that matter, of course. I mean, if your job role says that I mean, you have to create the code and go home, then I mean, there are enterprises where definitely, I mean, job roles are well defined, and you probably cannot do more than it said. But I think try to think from a business perspective at all times, understand the impact of the things that you are doing, and try to showcase what you are doing, not your enterprise data. I mean, whatever you are doing personally, build a lot, experiment a lot, learn a lot. I mean, there is no substitute to learning things, and stay hungry, stay foolish, stay curious, and I think you will do great. Don't again, and don't be over reliant on AI. So I think that's going to uh, be good for you.
Okay. That's a wrap up for today's session. A huge thank you to Sujit Kumar Kar for joining us and sharing his insightful and how to help students like startup companies to know actually about AI, artificial intelligence. If you enjoy this conversation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Sketch Brains for more insightful discussions with professionals, entrepreneurs, and industry experts like Sujit himself. Also, don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn on other social media platforms to stay updated for the upcoming sessions. Uh, we'll also leave Sujit's LinkedIn profile in the description below, and you can check it out and you can reach out, ask him questions, and take advice from him. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and always keep learning, keep questioning, and keep building. Thank you so much for today's session, Sujit. It was honored to have you here.
Thanks, Susan. It was a nice one. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.